Hello guys, Grumpy. Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast. We're playing the Ultimate Edition, and it's been a couple days since I recorded, but I have been playing some, so I've still been working on the house. So you can see right here the front's quite a bit different. I followed a lot of suggestions. One suggestion was to use a brick for the floors, and I don't like the brick on the floors because to me it looks like a wall that fell over, and so I replaced the gravel with basalt cobblestone, and I also found some of those red mountains, and I made some stairs out of that red cobblestone. It's more of an orange, and I thought it looked good with a blue-orange theme. And I also added this, I don't know what you call that. I'm not an expert on columns, but added that lip around it. I think that looks good. I could have put that blue trim up around these blocks here too, but I thought it made it look too busy, so I left that the way it is. And that actually is modified because this stuff's actually hiding some circuitry and stuff to make, it's hiding some machinery to make the door work. So I got a sandstone door here now. Now I'll make a tutorial on this probably, so I'm not going to show how this works in this video. It's just better put that in a tutorial. I tried to do it on screen, but it took like a long time to figure it out, and so it was kind of a really boring video. But anyway, you hit the button, and that thing falls over. Now, unfortunately, I get lag when this door's operating. There's like a 8-second timer inside this room here, and I have no idea why, because I've used a lot of Redpower before, and I never get that kind of lag. But anyway, the lag goes away as soon as the circuit turns off. So let me show you the circuit down here. Oops. I'll show you the circuit down here. Now there's the wire for the one button, and then there's a button on the inside of the house too, and you can see it right there. That's bare red alloy wire, and basically it's touching that block, so the button's touching the block. You hit the button, it energizes that wire, so the yellow wire gets energized. But when I make a tutorial, you'll see how this works. It's kind of redundant. I'm still going to do tutorials because they get a lot more views, and so I'm not going to explain how it works here, then do a tutorial too. But anyway, that's the outside of the house. Let me show you the inside. Okay, here we go. Let's wait till the door closes so the lag goes away. Okay, this is the inside now. I like this. It's perfect. I followed suggestions and replaced all the marble with brick, except for the floor, because like I said, I don't like the brick on the floor. And I also left the marble up there because I thought that looked cool. And so this to me right here looks awesome. This looks Egyptian to me, but I'm not an expert on Egyptian stuff. You know, now thinking about it, yellow might look better than orange. I might try that later, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, here's the main house now. It's still a hollow shell, but at least it's got a ceiling and walls now. Now, this glass right here is called glass viewer. I like this stuff. I've always hated glass in Minecraft. Every mod pack I've ever seen, vanilla or mod pack, whatever, I've always hated glass, period. This is the first glass I've ever seen that I ever liked. And it's part of Zycraft. It's called Glass Viewer, and not too expensive to make. It takes 8 pieces of glass and an iron ingot. You put the iron ingot in the middle of the rest. Basically, you fill the crafting table with iron in the middle, surrounded by glass, and it'll make this stuff. And it makes 8 blocks. So basically, you're using 1 iron ingot to convert 8 regular glass into this stuff. Now, the reason I like this stuff is because, well, let's go over the reasons I don't like regular glass. Vanilla Minecraft glass, it's too obtrusive to your view. You can see through this stuff a lot better. That's the first thing. And then I've seen some glass like that. I forget what it was called, Splax or whatever. That texture pack that everybody uses, with it just filled with pentagons. Everything's a pentagon in the whole game. I don't like it. It's very cartoonish, but I hate the glass there because it doesn't have these lines at all, and it looks like there's no glass there at all. So all they do is put like this little lip I kind of like the lip here too. It looks good. But anyway, this is the first glass I've ever seen that I liked, and it looks pretty cool. Now you might be wondering why I have walls, because as the last episode I was talking about having a panoramic view. Well, what I got to thinking, I was talking about making this thing a fortress, and I would have a wall surrounding the compound. And if I did that, there would be no view. All you'd be able to do is see out and have a wall. So it wasn't really necessary to have the glass go all the way down to the floor. I am thinking about lowering it one block, so maybe have the glass come down one lower. But the reason I went with this look, it gives it more of an industrial look for this room, because this is a workshop. And generally, industrial environments, they have windows at the top and nowhere near the bottom. It's just, you don't want windows near the bottom of an industrial complex, because they just get broken. You know, all the people throwing stuff around and forklifts and all that kind of stuff, and you just never hardly see that. You'll never see a factory with glass at ground level. Maybe a high-tech factory or something. But anyway, look here too. Here's I was talking about putting fire pits here. Did that, and the fire sound was getting on my nerves drastically, and so I replaced them with white lamps. I'm not opposed to changing the color, so if anybody thinks the color would look better than the white, let me know. Also too, I put these handrails here originally, so you don't accidentally ever fall into the fire pit. So I don't know if I like those or not. I could replace them with perhaps some kind of slabs. I don't know. But anyway, everything from the old house is moved over. I haven't really crafted a whole lot more as far as more machinery. Still got the same machinery as before. So here's my 4 basic machines, my 2 generators. But I do have an MFE now, so I'm storing a lot more electricity than I was before. So yeah. Well, let's come down here. This is the rest of the house as far as I've gotten so far. Now this is my Nether portal. That's why I put it downstairs. I hate the sound of the Nether portal. You don't want to hear that when you're in your house. So I put that down here. And there's my 2 coke ovens. I haven't built any more yet. You got to get a lot of sand a lot of sand and a lot of clay to build those. So thought I heard something. By the way, this place isn't safe. There's stuff spawns in here, and I have no idea why. I was like, man, I don't think I could light this place up anymore. It's got to be spawning in these center corners or something. We actually saw mobs. It was like right here and right here. But if I come back down here, I don't really see a place for them to spawn. This is lit up. If I come over here, I got torches there. Torches there. Yeah, I don't see a place for them to spawn. I don't know. Maybe if I go ahead and put... See, I can't see the lighting level change, so that's like got to be full light. Pardon me. Had to cough there. So that's that. Let's go to sleep real quick, and then I'm going to go outside to show you the where I've been getting the sand. Initially, what I was trying to do with the sand is I didn't want to screw up the environment. So I was just getting here and there, and I was kind of like only getting it in spots where it would still look natural. But then I got thinking, if I'm going to build a pyramid, I need a big flat area for that. So then I started getting sand there, and I actually needed a whole lot of sand. First of all, you can see all the sandstone. But secondly, the door takes 19 stacks of sand to operate. It's technical, I'll go over that in the tutorial, but basically you need 19 stacks of sand to make the door work. But as you can see right here, here's where I've been getting the sand. I'm flattening this area out. I'm thinking about making the pyramid a full 64 by 64, so once I actually start building it, it's going to take forever. Basically, once I have quarries going and stuff, instead of sending stuff to recycler, I'm probably going to send it to the pyramid. Like if it's a cobblestone or sand, some block I don't want, gravel, dirt, whatever. And I'll build a pyramid out of just whatever blocks. But then once the pyramid's finally completed, what I'll do is I'll come back over and place some other blocks on top of it, whatever blocks I want. So my idea, if I'm going to have a compound around this thing, walls and stuff, I still want a cool view. So what I was thinking about doing was building an obelisk on the roof here. Now, if you don't know what an obelisk is, it's basically looks like the Washington Monument. It's an Egyptian thing. Let's go ahead and get on up here. Yeah, what I was thinking about doing was, if you see these torches, they're all centered in the squares. I was thinking about making it 2 by 2. In other words, it'd go from this torch over to this torch, over to this torch, or over to this torch. Now I'm going to look at this from the side real quick. Now I could have it start here or start here, so it's kind of a matter of whether I want the obelisk near the front of the house or the back of the house. No idea. I don't even know how tall to make it. Should I make it super tall or have it kind of stubby? No idea. But that would be pretty cool. In a way, I hate these mini-map because it's got all the beacons and stuff. And if that stuff's in the game, I'm going to use it. But I kind of miss the good old days because what I used to do when I was like playing vanilla Minecraft, I always had a tall tower so I could see my house from the distance. Now one thing I need to do is move my rubber farm over here so I don't have to walk all the way back over there to harvest my rubber. Not sure where we want to put that. I want it to kind of look real pretty out here, kind of like gardens and stuff, but over here, oh by the way, I was doing some research on the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Found out some pretty cool stuff. First of all, found out the story of it. There was a king in Babylon. His name was Nebuchadnezzar, and one of his favorite wives was homesick. She lived in a place where there was mountains and lots of trees and stuff. So because she was really homesick, he built the Hanging Gardens of Babylon for her. And basically what it was is like a giant step pyramid covered with gardens and lawns and all kinds of stuff, and they would pump water up to the top. Well, they didn't actually have pumps. They used what they called Archimedes screws. Basically, it's kind of like a screw with a cylinder around it, and when you turn the screw, the water goes up it. But that's how they'd get the water to the top of it. But they also said that there was no references to the Hanging Gardens of Babylon anywhere in any of the ancient cuneiform stuff they found from there. And there's also they've uncovered the ruins of Babylon a long time ago. I think it was like 100 years ago, and they didn't find a good spot for it. But there actually is another place about 200 or 300 miles away where there actually is a guy there, and there's actually records of where he built something like that. So they're thinking that's where it came from, because the story of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon came from a Greek scholar like 400 years after the fact. But those Greek scholars also talked about Atlantis, so you never know. But so basically, the gist of it, they're not even really sure if it existed. So there is a description of it. It's supposed to be like 400 feet wide, so and 80 feet tall. So that's the dimensions. But other than that, there's like just description. By the way, the reason they call it the Hanging Gardens because it's just like a step pyramid with a bunch of terraces. And each level has like gardens on it, but they had trees there too. And there's like the description says some of the trees there are up to 50 feet tall and 12 feet in diameter. Obviously they're talking about the canopy, but the canopies would overhang the level below. So when you're actually walking through the gardens, you're in shade the entire time. And so it was supposed to be really beautiful and lush. But it probably did exist, but they're thinking it was like 200 or 300 miles away from the actual ruins of Babylon. But cool thing too is the entire thing is actually up on columns. The pyramid isn't on the ground; it's up in the air on columns. From the description, so I looked on YouTube, just Googled it, and there's a whole lot of pictures of it, just concept art, because nobody really knows what it looks like, but they just know that brief description. I basically told you the whole description what they know about. I actually watched a documentary on YouTube. Anyway, sorry, I was just walking around, but that's the update. I will try to get some more gameplay in where I'm actually playing the game more, but right now I don't have a whole lot of time. I got to go to work in the morning. I'm going to go to sleep pretty soon. So this is Grumpy. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like the video. We'll see you next time.